All right, good evening. This is Jonathan Alexander, your News Arizona, and just want to give you guys a few little updates. This weekend, I'm going to be down in Yuma, Arizona. I'm going to be broadcasting live from the border. Also, a couple of events we're going to be attending down there, so stay tuned for that. I want to thank all of the people out there on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble for your following me for all these years now. Just sharing what I'm broadcasting and getting it out there to America. I muchly appreciate all of you guys. I'm not your average reporter. I'm no Tucker Carlson or anything else like that. But what I am is a man that brings the truth to you guys. So tonight I want to talk about the Democrats. The Democrats want you and I to believe that, these illegals and ICE raiding them and taking them into custody, getting them out of this country is basically Satan working at his best. But the reality is, a lot of these illegals that they're taking into custody are human traffickers, drug traffickers. They're people that want to harm America. If you want to think about it this way, this has been kind of like a Vietnam War. You don't know who in the hell is who. You don't know who's your enemy. So you've got to treat everybody that came in the illegal way as your enemy. That's reality, guys. A lot of people don't like to hear me talk that way, but I'm going to call it what it is. If we don't know what their intentions are, if they come in through our borders the wrong way, they need a one-way ticket the hell out of our country. So I want to share with you guys tonight. This has been a big raid that they did, ICE did, and this is one of the reasons why we've got to keep these illegals at bay and keep them the hell out of our country. So I'm going to go ahead and share this video with you guys. All right, guys, give me a second. Looks like I forgot to share the video. My apologies. So let's go in here. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that.
Fentanyl bust in our nation's history. And we're very proud to announce today a historic Sinaloa cartel arrest, and it marks the most significant victory in our nation's fight against fentanyl and drug trafficking to date.
Tells about the biggest fentanyl bust in South Carolina history.
This happened in Richland County, not far from the University of South Carolina campus in Columbia. Law enforcement reports that they seized 156 pounds of fentanyl, enough to kill every single person in South Carolina 7 times over.
What if I told you that while you were driving down I-5 last month, you passed a semi-truck carrying enough poison to kill every single person in Seattle, Tacoma, and Spokane combined? That's exactly what federal agents discovered when they pulled over what looked like an ordinary commercial truck near the Washington-California border. 269 pounds of fentanyl. It sounds manageable until you understand the deadly math. Enough to deliver 6.9 million lethal doses. Enough to wipe out the entire Seattle-Tacoma metropolitan area. The driver? Isabel Villarreal Zappian, a 44-year-old truck driver who looked like every other professional trucker you'd trust on the highway. The kind that delivers your Amazon packages, your groceries, your everyday essentials. But this delivery was different. This delivery was death. Maybe this was just an isolated incident, a rogue driver, bad luck. Perhaps this was just one bad actor in an otherwise secure transportation system. After all, our trucking regulations are robust, weigh stations are operational, commercial licenses are verified, the system appears intact. There's a comforting logic that tells us this must be an exception, not the rule. But federal investigators tell a very different story. Behind this seemingly isolated bust lies something far more sinister, a cartel-connected drug distribution.
Simple.
Okay, so I want you guys to keep in mind, right there, they just got done saying it like it is, the cartel. You know, everything has to do with the cartel. Cartel trafficking drugs, just human trafficking that they do. These pawns that are working on American soil are working for these thugs. I mean, this is nonstop. And, you know, again, this is what the Democrats are fighting for. They're sticking up for these guys. They're saying, how dare us deport them? This has got to be ridiculous. I mean, you just look at the reality behind everything that's going on. And it's like, when does enough become enough? So, all right, I'll get back to playing the video a little bit.
I only pay $10 a month for my internet connection. Fast, unlimited, anywhere.
Have you heard about Ryoko Pro? This is
Ring led by Rosario Abel Joaquin Camargo Banuelos and his brother Francisco Fernando Camargo Banuelos, both based in the Sinaloa region of Mexico. These brothers didn't just send one truck, they engineered an entire parallel transportation system operating within our legitimate highways. What federal agents uncovered wasn't merely drugs, it was a complete infrastructure, legitimate shipping manifests, clean driving records, proper documentation, all systematically compromised to create a pipeline stretching from Sinaloa through California, Oregon, and up the entire west coast of America. And it had been running undetected for years. The scope is staggering. The investigation identified 19 individuals across multiple states.
So, you know, where they just got done saying that this was undetected for years, I have a hard time believing that. I'll tell you what I do believe. I believe our federal government was quite aware of it. They were allowing it. They were getting paid off by the cartel. That's my personal opinion on this. I mean, you look how fast, since the Trump administration has taken power, you look at how fast they're taking down these drug organizations, taking down the cartel, these human trafficking rings. Every day we're hearing about it. We're seeing ships getting blown up left and right from the drug traffickers. You know, whether you love Trump or hate him, you got to admit the man's doing a hell of a job at taking out the cartel and the drug traffickers. We'll get back to playing this video.
All connected to a sophisticated hierarchy leading back to the Sinaloa cartel. Drug deals occurring as far north as Whidbey Island and Arlington, as far south as Tacoma and Lacey. Monthly shipments capable of supplying entire regional drug markets. But how did they do it? How did foreign criminal organizations manage to weaponize America's most trusted infrastructure? The answer lies in strategic recruitment. Cartels specifically targeted commercial drivers, both Mexican nationals and American citizens, who could blend seamlessly into legitimate transportation networks. They weren't looking for obvious criminals. They were looking for people who wouldn't raise suspicion. Take Isabel Villarreal Zapien, the truck driver arrested in January 2024. Nothing about her appearance would trigger alarm. Nothing about her driving record would flag concern. She was, for all observable purposes, just another trucker moving goods across state lines. What DEA Special Agent in Charge David F. Reams called bringing misery and death to our community was disguised as everyday commerce. The route engineering was equally calculated. The I-5 corridor presents unique vulnerabilities. A straight shot from the southern border all the way to Canada, passing through major distribution hubs. Perfect for legitimate business. Perfect for criminal enterprise. Behind this transportation network stood a sophisticated financial infrastructure, multi-million-dollar operations disguised as legitimate freight companies, complete with proper licensing, insurance, and business documentation. It took an 18-month investigation by the Drug Enforcement Administration, alongside federal, state, and local law enforcement, to unravel this network. Wiretaps, surveillance, multi-agency coordination, even undercover agents who infiltrated the organization to expose its inner workings. What they uncovered was not just disturbing, it was transformative to our understanding of national security. The numbers tell only part of the story.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. My husband found this new 87 cents generic Viagra at Friday Plans, and at first, I was worried. How could something so cheap be real? But we were tired of paying over $46 a pill at CVS, so we gave it a shot. Now I'm so glad he did. Look at this. CVS charged us $406 for 9 tablets of 100 milligram generic Viagra.
Throughout 2023 and 2024,
Sorry about the Viagra commercial, guys. You got to admit that's funny shit, though. All right.
law enforcement seized massive shipments, including 95 kilos of methamphetamine and more than 41 kilos of fentanyl powder in October 2023 alone. In total, they confiscated approximately 465 pounds of methamphetamine, 269 pounds of fentanyl, 23 pounds of cocaine, and 6.4 pounds of heroin, plus over $3,000 in assets and approximately 11 firearms. The August 2025 coordinated arrests yielded 7 pistols, 3 rifles, 9 kilograms of methamphetamine, more than 5 kilograms of fentanyl, nearly 4 kilograms of cocaine, and more than a kilogram of heroin. Another $342,000 in suspected drug trafficking proceeds. But these numbers, as shocking as they are, miss the greater revelation. Federal agents didn't just bust one network. They exposed how Mexican cartels have systematically weaponized the entire American transportation grid, turning our most trusted infrastructure into their distribution system.
So one of the things that nobody's really ever talking about, if you want to look at the reality, the cartel, these guys are trafficking in enough drugs each and every day to kill every last man, woman, and child here in America. I mean, again, people have a problem with Trump trying to get rid of these thugs out of our country. You know, how about being one of the parents or husbands burying your loved ones from a fentanyl overdose? How about being a loved one, you know, having to bury their child that was murdered, raped, whatever else? I mean, nobody wants to talk about this kind of shit. And, you know, I do the best I can to expose this constantly, just like we try to expose what's going on our borders and everywhere else. And trust me, I've made a lot of enemies along the way. I've had threats myself from the cartel, but I'm not backing down. And even though the cartel is offering rewards for anybody that takes out Border Patrol or anybody in the government, you know, $10,000 reward is what they're offering. But truth is, I'm going to continue my push. I'm going to continue till I take my last breath. That's who I am. All right, get back to play a little more for you guys.
Implications are sobering. Every commercial truck now represents a potential threat rather than simply an economic symbol. America's highway system, the very arteries of commerce that built our nation, revealed as penetrable by foreign criminal organizations. The scale of this challenge is immense. Protecting over 50,000 daily commercial crossings while maintaining the flow of legitimate commerce seems nearly impossible. But within this devastating revelation lies unexpected proof of resilience. The fact that this investigation succeeded demonstrates that sustained federal coordination can dismantle cartel networks. Acting U.S. Attorney Teal Luthi Miller made this clear. This indictment names not only the redistributors in the Western District of Washington, but also the brothers in Mexico, who profited by spreading their poisons and addiction in the Pacific Northwest. We will work with DOJ's Office of International Affairs to hold all the conspirators accountable here in the U.S. and abroad. This case has also accelerated the development of advanced detection methods and new cooperation models between the DEA, Homeland Security Investigations, and transportation authorities. As HSI Seattle Acting Special Agent in Charge, Colin Jackson stated, "This investigation exemplifies the success achievable through effective interagency collaboration and coordination. From this crisis emerges fresh opportunities for enhancing our national security. Revolutionary commercial vehicle monitoring that doesn't stifle legitimate trade. Direct coordination with Mexican authorities to prevent source-level infiltration."
I got a Mazzaro knife, and what followed was an absolute fiasco. Here's what really pisses me off. I've wasted
Public awareness about identifying suspicious commercial activity. The names of those charged tell a story of international infiltration. Jose Mejia Ortiz, Juan Carlos Garcia Olay, Jorge Boneo Nieblas, Ivan Garcia Camacho, Eder Ramirez Pino, Rosendo Vazquez Medrano, Kevin Alexander Misakango Solano, alongside American citizens Kareem Davis, Tyler Johnson, Israel Davis, and Alex Fan. Plus, 4 additional defendants arrested in early August: Durrell Gabelain of Whidbey Island, Aaron Knapp and John Hardman of Everett, and Jose Felix German, a Mexican citizen allegedly acting as a money courier. 13 defendants are in custody. Many face mandatory minimum sentences of 10 years in prison due to the quantities involved. This case isn't just a drug bust. It's part of a larger initiative called Operation Take Back America, a nationwide effort marshaling the full resources of the Justice Department to combat illegal immigration, eliminate cartels and transnational criminal organizations, and protect communities from violent crime. The war against cartels is no longer fought just at borders or in city streets. It's happening on our highways, in our truck stops, and within our commercial infrastructure. Every day, millions of Americans drive alongside commercial vehicles, most carrying legitimate goods, some carrying deadly contraband. The primary tension in this new reality is trust versus threat. Can we maintain faith in our essential infrastructure while acknowledging its vulnerability? The character arc for our nation isn't about returning to naive confidence in system security, but evolving toward a sophisticated understanding of infiltration reality. The stakes have escalated from what seemed like an individual incident to a regional threat to a national infrastructure vulnerability, creating an entirely new battlefield paradigm. The resolution isn't about restoration of old security measures, but evolution to new protective intelligence. When you drive down I-5 tomorrow, you'll pass dozens of commercial trucks. Most are legitimate, some are not. But now you know.
Now, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but the I-5 corridor that goes up through all through California, up through Oregon, into Washington, that is one of the most heavily drug trafficked, human trafficking corridor in the world. And that's hard to believe, but that's reality. So same thing out here in Arizona, I-10, and a couple of the other interstates out here. Those are also heavily trafficked, especially the ones down out of Phoenix, Tucson sector, even out of the Yuma sector. Those corridors are very notorious for drug trafficking, human trafficking, and usually once they get on that interstate, they can go any which direction. So just something to keep in mind. So one of the things I always tell people, if you see something suspicious, report it immediately to your local law enforcement, or if you're down on the borders, report it right away to your Border Patrol agents. Let's get this crap off the streets. Let's help make this country safe again. So, all right, guys, I could share this with you all night long. I've got hours and hours of stuff I'd love to share. I'm going to take a whole day, one day, and just go through a lot of stuff with you guys. I'm going to leave you guys with a word for thought. So this is what I call lessons we learn in life. Okay. Okay, looks like I got the wrong one up for you guys. Sorry about that. However, Charlie Kirk is a good one as well. Here, let me jump over to my Facebook and share it from here. Okay, we'll give this one a try. Yeah, it looks like it's not going to let me share it for whatever reasons. Thanks a lot, Facebook. See if we can try this again. All right, looks like Facebook is going to keep me from sharing this for whatever reason. So if you guys jump onto my scroll down a little bit, you can see my post I did, Lessons We Learn in Life. And just click on the TikTok video that I made. And I think this probably would apply to a lot of you as well. Getting to know a lot of you guys out there. I can see where this would apply to a lot of you. Either way, guys, I'm going to call it a night. It's a wrap. I've had a long 24 hours and got a lot of work in the field I'm doing. So keep me and my team in your prayers, and we'll just take it from there. So, all right, guys, this is Jonathan Alexander reporting live, and you guys all have a wonderful night. God bless all of you.